If you're constantly fighting with your spouse, what I'm about to tell you, I'm hoping will completely change the way that you see those arguments. First, your conflict is not a communication problem. It is an intimacy failsafe. I'm going to explain in this video exactly what I mean by that, and more importantly, help you stop the painful conflict cycle by understanding the 3 levels of communication that exist in every marriage. Hi, my name is Dr. Mathis Kennington, and for the last 18 years, I have worked with couples to deepen their intimacy, rekindle their passion, and live more fulfilling lives. Every day, I talk to couples who tell me a version of the same type of story. We have a communication problem. It's certainly something that I've experienced in my nearly 2 decades of marriage. Couples come to me exhausted from fighting, thinking that the conflict that they're experiencing means somehow their relationship is broken. But here's the secret that most of us go our entire lives without really understanding about this topic. Your marriage operates on 3 distinct levels of communication, and you need all 3 of them because they are all working together to achieve the same outcome, which is to create a strong connection between you and your spouse. So let's dive in. Level 1 is logistics and teamwork. Your marriage isn't just a relationship anymore. It's an institution that's responsible for many competing responsibilities, most of which are in the realm of the 3 C's: children, community, and career. And to handle these priorities effectively, you need a rock-solid teamwork with your partner. You're strategizing together, you're solving long-term problems, managing the tedious stuff of life. It's the stuff that my wife calls the lather, rinse, and repeat of life. And you know what? This is a pretty important type of connection, but it's that partnership connection. It's that feeling of being on the same team, like somebody's got your back and you're working toward the same goals. But it's level 2 that we all crave. Level 2 is that true intimacy. There are 2 types here, and I want to distinguish between the 2. The first is foundational intimacy. Foundational intimacy is built when you're going through difficult things together, when you suffer together, work through hard problems, either inside of your relationship or outside of it. It's having those difficult conversations without ignoring the elephant in the room. Second is the intimacy that we tend to think of when we use that word. It's date nights, it's holding hands, physical affection, it's just being comfortable in each other's presence. Both types are essential, but here's where most of us go wrong. First, something about intimacy. Intimacy is like the oil in your car's engine. Your tire can go flat or your battery can go out, but if you don't effectively keep your engine lubricated, it will blow up from the inside out. That's exactly what happens to a marriage without intimacy. And that's where level 3 comes in. Level 3 is about conflict. And this is what's going to hopefully change your paradigm. Conflict isn't inherently bad. It's just your relationship's fail-safe system. When you stay stuck at level 1, talking logistics and avoiding difficult conversations to get to the real truth of what's going on between you and your partner or just with one of you, what happens is that your relationship starts starving for intimacy. And that need becomes so intense that it forces you to skip level 2 entirely and jump straight into level 3. You start fighting because your relationship is desperately trying to create intimacy the only way that it predictably knows how. It's uncommon to think of conflict as being intimate, but it is deeply intimate. And it's deeply uncomfortable too. Most of us can think of something that either we've said or has been said to us that we'd like to take back. But your relationship will absorb those wounds because above all else, it craves intimacy. So when you're having a lot of conflict, it's not because your marriage is broken. It's because your relationship is starving for connection and it's using conflict as that faulty fail-safe to try and get it. So what's the solution? Learn how to have difficult conversations at level 2 instead of being forced into level 3. This means being authentic, speaking assertively about how you feel, not avoiding hard topics, and above all else, learning to listen without judgment. I put together a list of level 2 conversation starters in the description below. These are the exact kind of conversations that can help you build intimacy without painful conflict. They're conversation starters that I've tried to put in practical and plain language, some of which I even use at home. And if you want to learn exactly how to navigate these level 2 conversations without escalating into painful conflict, make sure you're subscribed because that's exactly what I'm covering in the next video. Before you go, drop a comment. What level does your marriage spend most of its time in? Thanks, and I'll see you next time.